So go ahead and get yourself comfortable. Closing your eyes. Just beginning to notice your breathing. Just becoming aware of the breath as it moves in and out. We're just noticing it, just noticing how the breath naturally moves in and out on its own. We don't have to do anything to tell the body to breathe. It just breathes. Noticing also how your body moves with the breath. Gentle rising and falling. Becoming more aware of the body. Notice the sensation of the body touching a surface, whether it's a chair, a bed, a floor. Bring your attention to those points where your body touches a surface. And just noticing the energy of that, the sensation of that. Resting right in that for a moment. Gently notice the rhythm of your body, just any movements. Without trying to change them or stop them, just noticing them. Also becoming aware of any sounds that you might hear inside the room, outside the room, the sound of my voice, the sound of your own breathing. Just resting in that sense of hearing, the hearing of all the sounds. And then start to become aware of the silence or the space underneath the sound that all the sounds are happening in, that even the hearing of the sounds is happening in. just resting here. And then start to bring your attention down into your body, to that inner space, inner spaciousness inside your body. Just becoming aware of what it feels like in there. Noticing the quality or the property of that energy. And just scanning your body, noticing the different energies that are happening in the various parts of your body. Is that space or energy inside the head? How does that feel different from the space or energy inside the legs? And does that differ from the energy in the arms or the torso? So we're just noticing now. Just being a little curious. What's it really like? This inner space that I haven't really investigated. Let's just investigate it. And then notice if any of the energy or space on the inside is any different from the energy or space on the outside of the body. And not just directly around the body, all the way around it. That whole space in the room and even beyond the room. Just notice what that feels like. And does that space in front of you feel any different from the space behind you or above you? Or to the sides? Still just noticing. And how about that edge or border where the body ends and the space outside of it begins? Just noticing that sensation, the quality of that energy. Might even, if you're able, just let that energy dissolve back into the space around it. And see if there's even such a thing as an inside and an outside. So we're just resting, exploring energy. And just noticing what happens when we do that. And let's start to come back into the body, noticing the felt sense, noticing whatever sensations are happening here in the body. Whatever they are, whether there's a sense of openness or spaciousness, whether there's some aches or pains or tension, contraction. Whatever you're noticing, just let it be. See if there's any particular energy or sensation that's standing out from the others, that's calling your attention. Maybe it's a little stronger, more insistent. If there is, just bring your attention into that. And if there isn't, just pick a sensation. And we're going to rest in it. We're just going to rest here and feel that energy. I use the terms energy, sensation interchangeably. So whatever you're feeling, just feel it. Take your time really resting right inside the energy of it, without trying to push it away or stop it or make it be different than it is. Just really resting and allowing. Even if it's uncomfortable, willing to feel it anyway. And if you have thoughts coming up about a particular energy, for now, just notice those thoughts. Let them drift off on their own and come back to just feeling the energy. Resting in it so quietly you could hear a pin drop in the next room. And notice what happens when you do nothing with this energy, when you just feel it. When you let it be here, let it be itself. Just doing nothing with this. And if this energy has started to shift, just notice what's here in its place. And feeling that, dropping right into that energy, all the way in, so that it's not separate from you. So it's not like you're outside of it, looking at it. More like you're resting right in the center of it, feeling it completely, fearlessly letting it be here. No matter what happens, willing to feel it. Even if it gets stronger or more uncomfortable, stay with the feeling. Notice what happens when you do nothing at all with this. Really nothing. Sinking even deeper into it. Feeling it even more. Take your time. Keep resting with this. If this energy is already starting to shift on its own, then just notice what's here in its place and let that be too. We're just allowing everything, literally everything. Even resistance. If there's some resistance or sense of not wanting to feel something or trying to push it away, notice that's also an energy in the body. So feel that, if that's what's happening for you. Let that be too. Not moving from it, no matter what happens. And notice what happens when you let even this energy be. When you welcome it in instead of trying to push it away. Keep dropping into that felt sense, just fully allowing whatever's here now. Even thoughts, if you have one of those minds that thoughts are very incessant, they want to be noticed, then notice them. See if you can watch your thoughts, resting and allowing them to. and noticing how thoughts appear for you. Sometimes thoughts appear as pictures, as images in the mind. If that's how they show up, then just notice that. Just watching them till they fade off on their own. Sometimes you might see the actual words. If you can see the words of your thoughts, then look at those. And just keep looking at them. We're not trying to change our thoughts or stop them. We're not making thought wrong. We're just noticing that too is another energy that's happening. So watch them until they move on their own. And if you're someone who hears your thoughts, you hear them as sound, then hear the sound. And just resting and hearing, or resting and looking. And notice what happens with these thoughts, however they appear for you, when you do nothing with these either, when you let them come and go on their own. You don't follow them or believe them, or try to do anything with them. See if you can even notice the energy of thought. Does it have a substance? Is it made up of something? If you could touch a thought or hold it in your hand, what would it feel like? What does it feel like? And what happens to that thought when you try to do that, when you try to hold it in your hand? Or touch it? What happens to that energy? Just notice. Just letting all the thoughts come and go. All the words, the images, the sounds. It's resting and allowing all of it. And if there is a sense of trying to either hold on to thoughts or push them away, or even that sense of believing them or following them, just notice that's what's happening for you. And let that be too. Notice if that's happening, there's some energy happening in the body of pushing or trying or holding whatever it is for you. Just rest right in that energy. Let that be too. Do nothing at all with that. Just keep feeling it. No matter what happens. With any sensation in the body, with every sensation in the body, just sit with it and feel it and allow it. There may come a point where you feel like you can't do that anymore. Something is trying to pull you out of it. Stay with the feeling anyway. See if you can sit with it past that point where you think you can't take it anymore. And keep feeling it anyway. And notice what happens when you do that. See if any energy can stay if you're only feeling it. Can any thought stay if you're only looking at it? And if something is staying, if you have an energy in your body that isn't moving, notice there's something else happening with it. You're not just resting in and feeling raw energy. There might be a thought on it, a picture, even a label of what that energy seems to mean or what you think it is. Even if that label is tightness or contraction, or I don't want this, or this doesn't feel good. Notice that's a thought about an energy. So we're just bringing attention to it. We're just making ourselves aware of what's happening. If that is happening for you, notice the thought. Notice the label. And just look at it till it dissolves on its own. And then just feel the energy without any label on it. And notice what happens as you rest in this feeling, this sensation, without even knowing anything about it. Just raw energy. What if you even pull the word energy or sensation off of it? Look at those words, just until they dissolve on their own. and then come back to just feeling. Without knowing anything at all. And noticing what happens when you do that. So just keep resting and allowing, letting everything happen the way it's happening, without any movement to change, or stop, or fix anything. And if there is a sense of trying to change or stop or fix something, no movement away from that either. Not even trying to change or stop or fix that energy. It's like you're just saying yes to everything. Even if no shows up, no or resistance, yes to the no, yes to that as well, willing for even that to be here. Notice what happens in your body when you do nothing with anything that shows up. And notice if there's a sense of doing this to try to get somewhere, to try to get to a place that feels better, to try to get to a sense of peace or love or happiness, whatever it is you've been chasing. And if that's here, let that be here too, that sense of trying to get somewhere. Do nothing with that energy either. Rest right in it. Just the raw energy of it. Feeling it so quietly you could hear a pin drop. staying with it, no matter what happens. And notice what happens when you do nothing with this either. And if you are feeling a sense of peace or openness, spaciousness, love, even the good feelings, notice that too. Notice that's also an energy that's happening here. And notice you might have a label on it. A word, peace, love, space, awareness, whatever the word is for you. If you do have that label on it, take a look at that. And just gently look till the word dissolves on its own. And then come back to feeling the energy in the body, whatever it is for you. If it's not a positive one, if it's something that doesn't feel so good, feel that too. Whatever you're feeling, feel it. And do nothing at all with it. And notice what happens when you do nothing. Even with the positive sensations, the ones we like. See if you can get even that to stay just by feeling it. What happens when you try to do that? What if all energies are the same? What if they're all equal? Those we label positive and those we label negative. What if you don't do anything with either of them? You just let them come and go as they do. And if you rest even deeper, you might start to notice the more subtle energies. Those of allowing, looking, seeing, hearing, feeling. Notice that's also an energy or a sensation that's happening here. Drop even deeper, right into that. Feel that too. Do nothing with this either. Notice what happens when you do nothing with even these, the more subtle energies. You might even start to notice the even deeper, maybe just more obvious senses, like a sense of me. It's a sense of me sitting here or lying here. Notice what that sense of me feels like. That energy that you know to be you. What if you do nothing with that? What if you don't even label it as me? And if any labels come up, you can look at them. And any images, you'll probably see images of you, of what your body and your face looks like. So if you see those, just look at them. Really take your time. Just gently looking, resting and looking, until even those start to dissolve back into the space around them. Until you're just left with this sense of me here. Without the label though, just raw energy. Do nothing with this, just feel it. Let this be too, without knowing anything about it. Notice what happens when you do nothing with even this. Just noticing what's here now. Whatever you're experiencing, experience it. Be it. Like it's not happening separate from you. Like your energy is completely merged with it. No difference between you and it. Whatever it is that's happening for you. This is the natural rest. This effortless allowing of everything to be as it already is. No need to do anything with anything that shows up. Just keep coming back to the body. Anytime our minds kick in and thoughts start to take over, just noticing that. We're not trying to stop that or change it. Just notice that's what's happening. Let those thoughts come to an end, dissolving back into the space around it, and come back to the body and just feel, just be with what's here. This can be done often and any time throughout the day. Even if just for brief moments. And if you'll notice, we didn't ask any questions. We didn't ask, is it me? We just let everything be. We didn't do inquiry, we just allowed everything. So take a moment when you're ready to begin opening your eyes. And when you do that, keep your attention in your body. Notice when the eyes open, there's some movement to pull us out of the body. If you've noticed that movement, let that be here too. Just feel the energy of it and do nothing with that either. Even with your eyes open, notice you can rest here in your body and let everything be. You can stay with the sensation, fully feeling it and fully allowing it till it moves on its own, even with your eyes open. Notice what happens when you just rest in this energy, or whatever energy is happening in your body, with your eyes open. Maybe even you notice a sense of seeing, or looking with eyes open. Notice that. Do nothing with that energy either. Not moving away from this. Not putting meaning on it. Just feeling it. Just allowing it. And notice what happens when you do nothing with this either. And then from resting here in your body, start to notice what's being seen as you look around the room. Notice all the different colors and shapes. Just looking at them, not even labeling anything. Just looking and noticing all you really see are colors and shapes. Nothing you're looking at is actually labeling itself as something. Just notice, is the chair calling itself a chair? Is the computer calling itself that? So just noticing, resting, relaxing in your body. Just learning to look in a different way. And just notice what happens when you start to look at everything this way. See if anything needs to be done with anything when you look and feel like this. Is anything you're looking at or feeling saying, fix me, change me, help me, control me? So just resting.